In Kerala, a man named Abdul Majid recently received his official appointment letter for a government teaching position in the year 2026. He sat for the recruitment exam in 2005. By the time the paperwork finally cleared 21 years later, he was 61 years old, completely aging out of the system and already past the official age of retirement. While Majid was reaching for a job he could no longer hold, the streets of the capital were filling with the Cockroach Janta Party. Young people in cockroach masks have begun swarming public spaces, specifically to mock and interrogate news reporters. This bizarre theater is driven by a very specific frustration. Citizens feel trapped inside a system where official institutional records are presented as perfect, even while the actual lived experience is completely broken. When the gap between what is written on government paper and what happens on the ground becomes this wide, it suggests a systemic disconnect, one that is actively costing citizens their money, their jobs, and their lives. Take physical infrastructure. Recent devastating fires in Delhi and Noida exposed buildings that, on paper, possessed flawless safety clearances or were zoned strictly for residential use. On the ground, these supposed residential properties were packed with 25 commercial hotel rooms. In Noida, when a high-rise caught fire on the 12th floor, emergency responders discovered their water hoses could not even reach past the 6th floor. This discrepancy between records and reality scales directly into government demographic data, as seen in the recent census operations in Rajasthan. According to the official government portal, entire villages are recorded as 100% open defecation-free, with modern gas cylinders logged in every single household. Yet, field reporters visiting these homes found locals relying on open street drains and wood-burning stoves. Investigative reports revealed that senior officials explicitly instructed their juniors to ignore the physical reality and manually alter the digital portal data to match the government's mandated targets. A fabricated, government-sanctioned paper trail is actively overriding civic safety, prioritizing the appearance of administrative perfection over the people it is meant to protect. This paper illusion scales up to the highest levels of the economy, reaching its peak in the 15 Lakh Crore Rajesh Exports scandal. On a physical level, the business was simple. They took raw gold, melted it down, and processed it. To inflate value, they used a network of shell companies. They bought and sold assets back and forth in a closed loop. Each move registered as a new sale, creating a paper revenue surge that drove up stock prices, entirely disconnected from actual physical value. Public entities like the Life Insurance Corporation of India were caught in this trap, investing thousands of crores of everyday citizens' savings into a bubble built entirely on ledger entries. These economic paper illusions act as sophisticated tools used to siphon tangible wealth from public funds and into private hands. When the economy is siphoned from the top, the job market at the bottom fractures. The traditional promise that education leads to employment has effectively collapsed. Highly educated individuals holding PhDs and master's degrees are now flooding applications for lower-level peon and sweeper jobs just to secure basic survival. The crisis forced the Supreme Court of India to intervene, ruling that overqualified individuals cannot legally claim these lower-level government posts. The court is attempting to protect the only remaining employment opportunities for lower-educated citizens from being consumed by a desperate overqualified workforce. An entire generation is now trapped in a void, too educated for the jobs legally available to them, but denied the professional careers they were promised on paper. When institutions fail, the media is supposed to act as the final safety valve, exposing the gap between official claims and ground reality. But the mainstream media has largely abandoned this duty. By refusing to ask hard questions about joblessness or systemic rot, they have become complicit in maintaining the illusion. This brings us back to the Cockroach Janta Party. Their masked protests are the direct response to a media environment that no longer seeks to bridge the gap between paper and truth. The youth found that traditional outrage is ineffective against a system that refuses to acknowledge shame. In its place, they have adopted weaponized absurdity as their primary political tool. India is now a nation of two parallel realities. And when a system operates entirely on fake data and shamelessness, the youth's only recourse is to unmask the illusion by treating the entire machine exactly like the joke it has become.